Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Chairman McGovern, Ranking Member Cole, and members of the Rules Committee. I appear before the committee today as the ranking member of the House Ethics Committee, a position I was appointed to just 2 weeks ago. In fact, this is the first time Chairman Deutsch and I have even seen each other, even virtually, since my appointment. This is my second term serving on the Ethics Committee, and I was looking forward to working with Chairman Deutsch in a collegial and bipartisan manner. But here we are, managing a contentious, politically driven resolution that was assigned to our committee and will now be on the House floor without proper consideration by the Ethics Committee. What are we doing, Mr. Chairman, Chairman Deutsch? First, let me say that many Republicans have denounced statements made by Representative Greene before she became a member of Congress, and I do the same as I appear in front of you today. Republican House leadership said months ago that Representative Greene's comments are appalling, and he had no tolerance for them, neither do I, and I have a statement on the record as well. I associate myself with my leadership statements, and I know many of my colleagues have and do as well. I am not here to defend Representative Greene. I'm here to defend the process of the House, and within this House, the integrity of the Ethics Committee and the functions of the majority and minority parties. The Committee on Ethics is unique. The committee rules, in fact, recognize the importance of the unique way this committee functions. I would like to read directly from the committee rule book. From the foreword on page 1. The Committee on Ethics is unique in the House of Representatives, consistent with the duty to carry out its advisory and enforcement responsibilities in an impartial manner. The committee is the only standing committee of the House of Representatives, the membership of which is divided evenly by party. These rules are intended to provide a fair procedural framework for the conduct of the committee's activities to help ensure that the committee serves well the people of the United States, the House of Representatives, and the members, officers, and employees of the House of Representatives. The committee works best in a collegial and bipartisan manner. In fact, during the 113th, 114th, 115th, and 116th Congresses, all votes taken in the investigative subcommittees were unanimous. The Republicans and Democrats serving on these subcommittees were in agreement. All of the work of the committee, completed by its sitting members, the members who are asked to serve in the investigative subcommittees, and the committee's professional and nonpartisan staff, all of the work is accomplished by bipartisan cooperation. And the work of the Ethics Committee is extensive. In the 116th Congress alone, the committee commenced or continued investigative fact gatherings regarding 50 separate investigative matters, impaneled 6 investigative subcommittees, held 32 investigative subcommittee meetings, filed 5 reports with the House totaling over 3,300 pages regarding various investigative matters, publicly addressing 16 matters, resolved 24 additional matters, conducted 110 voluntary witness interviews, and reviewed over 420,000 pages of documents. And you can see why I was excited to serve with you, Chairman Deutsch. Each of these tasks was agreed to by the chair and the ranking member of the committee. The committee operates effectively because it's a consensus-driven committee with decisions made jointly by the chair and the ranking member. But as to Representative Greene, the current chair and ranking member have not received a complaint and determined whether the information meets the requirements of the committee rules. The chair and the ranking member have not jointly gathered information concerning this alleged conduct. The chair and the ranking member have not had a single conversation regarding Representative Greene. This committee has not even had its first organizing meeting for the 117th Congress. But yet the chair seeks to bring this matter before the House without proper committee consideration and jurisdiction and without due process. I believe it's worth noting that the majority did not have to refer this resolution to the Ethics Committee. The majority could have brought this matter directly to the floor through a privileged question, but instead it chose to violate the one thing that's working in this place, the collegial, bipartisan manner by which the Ethics Committee could operate and has always operated with massive, major accomplishments and success. The Committee on Ethics has not exercised its jurisdiction over statements made by a member of Congress that were not otherwise unlawful before they were sworn into office. The Ethics Committee has sole jurisdiction over the interpretation of the Code of Official Conduct, which governs members of Congress, officers, and employees. But the statements that I have seen publicly were made before Ms. Greene was a candidate or before she was sworn in as a member of Congress on January 3rd. Most, if not all, of the statements were made in 2018 and 2019 when Ms. Greene was a regular citizen of the United States. The timing of the statements does not make them right, but the timing of the statements does put them outside the Ethics Committee's jurisdiction. The nonpartisan professional staff of the committee has provided, and the chair is aware that I intended to share this opinion today, that, quote, a review of public committee reports will indicate that the committee has not asserted jurisdiction over matters occurring prior to service in Congress where the conduct was unrelated to a campaign for the House and/or occurred prior to an individual's candidacy for the House. And also, quote, committee staff is not aware of any instance in which the committee has disciplined a member for or initiated an investigation into conduct that occurred prior to a member's qualification as a candidate for election to the House or was unrelated to the member's successful campaign to the House. Nor is committee staff aware of any instance in which the committee has disciplined a member or initiated an investigation solely into statements that a member made prior to swearing in that are not otherwise unlawful. If the Ethics Committee is to review its jurisdiction over statements made by members of Congress on both sides of the aisle before they're sworn in, then the matter could come before the committee in a way that complies with committee rules and preserves the bipartisan collegiality intended. It should not come to the Ethics Committee in this unprecedented manner. It's not the function of the majority party to make this determination unilaterally. It is unprecedented for the majority party to take action to remove a minority member from his or her committee assignments for any reason. Again, let me be clear. I'm not here defending Representative Greene. I'm here to defend a process with phenomenal members on both sides, led by incredible chairmen, has worked for decades in this institution. And if there was ever a time to pull this country together and to handle something and model something that works, here we are. I'm here to defend these processes. The functions of the majority and minority parties. House Resolution 72 is unprecedented. I agree with Ranking Member Cole's statement that history has shown respect for the right of each side of the aisle to assign their own members to the committees they chose and to hold their members accountable for their behavior. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your time today. I yield back.